Audio Jungle.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Don Mafia Live. It's your boy and Bob, of course, in the background. I have my dog Milo sleeping at my feet. So if anyone pisses me off, I'm going to have to make sure that when I step to punch Bob in the dome piece, I don't step on little Milo over here. You know, he's sitting there. He's vibing on this beautiful Tuesday, January 7th at 10 a.m. EST. You know what, folks? I was really thinking about the topic today because I figured it was too early to really break down this Broncos matchup. It's only Tuesday. I'll probably save that for tomorrow morning stream as far as diving into the numbers, these specifics, carving out a plan, carving out expectations of what this Buffalo Bills team needs to do to come out victorious. But there's just been something in the back of my mind, and I think it has to do ultimately with Sean McDermott and this coaching staff, right? Because we look back at a lot of our playoff blunders, a lot of the what ifs, a lot of the heartbreaking trips to Cancun that this team has had to deal with for the past couple of years, right? And I think the vast majority of them you have to pin on the coaching staff, maybe with the exception of the Bengals loss a couple of years ago, but specifically 13 seconds, even dating back to last year's playoff exit against the Kansas City Chiefs, some questionable coaching calls, even back to the AFC Championship, time management blunder after time management blunder after defensive scheme blunder. It's always in the back of our mind. Is Sean McDermott going to get outcoached at any point during this NFL playoffs? And I feel like I'm not alone, right? Because I think that we're all confident right now within the personnel. I think that we're confident, especially in Joe Brady's offense, in Josh Allen, who is ultimately having an MVP season. He's playing clean football. So that's never really a concern for Bills Mafia. But I just keep going back to, is Sean McDermott going to outcoach some of the best coaches in the NFL and finally get us to the promised land? Now, granted, he's done it, right? Like, I'm pretty sure he's beaten every single team in the NFL with the exception of the Philadelphia Eagles. Sean McDermott has, which is absolutely crazy, right? Regular season, playoffs, completely combined. He has done this, right? Like, he has beat each and every single team, but it comes into crunch time. It comes into close games. We know our record when it comes into close games. We know our record in overtime. And at some point, we can't just rely on Superman Josh Allen and Joe Brady in this offense. There's going to be a time where we have to rely on Sean McDermott to make the right decisions for us to win. I'm not saying that it's going to happen on Sunday. I'm not saying that it's going to happen in the divisional. I'm not going to say that it's going to happen in the AFC Championship. It could happen at any time. And I'm really, really, really hoping, man, that this guy is going to wake up and rise to the occasion when that situation ultimately ends up rearing its ugly head. And I'm sure Bob is hoping that Sean McDermott has some situations where he can come out and sort of make that happen. So that's overall going to be the topic for today. And I am so excited to see how the chat is doing today. Shout out to the chat. Welcome to another edition. I am live twice a day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. EST and 5:15 p.m. EST. A very jam-packed day of content for you guys, right? Obviously, today's stream, we have BetUS TV's The Huddle. We have my afternoon stream. And then I am going one-on-one with a Broncos fan. Me versus a Broncos fan, a live debate show this evening at 8 p.m. EST. It's going to be live on the Roundtable Sports Network channel and the AFC East Roundtable channel. So I highly suggest that you guys come and show a little bit of love prior to that, because we are going to be having a tremendous time over there, and I cannot wait to absolutely cook that fool. I'm going to cook that fool and bring him down to reality that Daddy Allen is coming and he's ready to hang sack on their hopes and dreams, baby. Listen, making the playoffs was enough for you guys, all right? Exceeded your expectations. It's time for the adults to have their time, baby. It's time for the adults to have their time, indeed. But anyway, I want to go ahead and give a giant shout out, because if Sean McDermott ultimately ends up shitting the bed, he's going to absolutely break me. He is going to hurt me. And you know what? I have no one to help me, no representation. But if I was ever hurt in a car, you know that I'm calling William Matar, ladies and gentlemen, proud sponsor of this channel. I never wish this on anybody. If anybody gets hurt in a car accident and happens, it's a regular occurrence. You need to make sure you have the right representation. So if you are in the state of New York and you find yourself in a car accident, you are injured, you want to make sure that you have the best possible person in your corner. And you are looking at the man right now, William Matar, law offices, car accident attorneys of the state of New York. Go on ahead and imprint that number in your mind if it does happen. William Matar, the best in the game, hurt in a car, call William Matar. Damn, baby, what's going on, everybody? Lori Adams is coming in saying, I have faith in Sean McDermott. Lori, I'll tell you what. I feel like I've seen all the signs this year that he has grown as a head coach, that he has learned from his mistakes. And it ultimately ended up coming from he has not been making the decisions this year, because I think something that a lot of people don't remember is that we ultimately ended up hiring a ex-referee to be a part of our staff that calls down to Sean McDermott and tells him when to challenge, right? He is that guy. He's an ex-referee. He's seen it all. Hence why I think that we've seen Sean McDermott win a bit more challenges this year. Why I think that he does, because he's completely outsourced it. I think that he's also shown some growth as a head coach where he's not so much nitpicky within how the coordinators are doing their thing, right? Like, I genuinely believe for the first time in a very, very long time that he does not have his hands in the offense whatsoever. Like, he definitely had his hands in the offense with Brian Daboll, hence with all the rumors that him and Daboll completely hated each other. And then I also think that he had his hands in the Ken Dorsey offense, but at the end of the day, I don't think any of us blame him because Dorsey was an absolute dumpster fire, hence why he has been fired from his second offensive coordinator position within only a 15-month span. But I think this is like the first year where I haven't seen any signs where Sean McDermott has been micromanaging the offensive coordinator. And even to a further point, I'm not even entirely convinced that Sean McDermott is necessarily meddling with Bobby Babich, because we can tell an entirely different defensive identity over here right now, right? It's like back with Sean McDermott, yes, we took away the football, but like we were a hell of a lot more stout in the secondary and then also within stopping the run specifically. So I think Sean McDermott has really taken a step back and he is focused exclusively on just being the CEO of this overall organization. So, Lori, I am certainly hoping that you are correct, and I'm doing whatever I can to build up as much faith as humanly possible that our guy is that guy. And this episode is sponsored by water, ladies and gentlemen. Drink your water. Drink your water. Stay hydrated when you can. Let me double check. All right. Thank God. For a second, I thought that I was just using my computer audio, and I was just like, dude, I was absolutely cooking. And if I was giving you shit audio with that masterpiece of a monologue I just gave you, it would have been the end of the world. What's up, Dan? Happy Tuesday. Only concern in the postseason is McDermott's clutch decisions and Bass's leg consistency. Bills still winning this Sunday. Go Bills. Bills Mafia J. I think that's number one and number two of the biggest concerns we have going into the playoffs. Obviously, Sean McDermott, time management, calling the right challenges, making the right decisions, not calling a Damar Hamlin fake punt when we're down or we're close by any stretch of the imagination. I want to see aggressive behavior, but at the same time, I don't want to see anything that's going to shoot us in the foot, right? Is what it is. That's the thing about being aggressive. It's a very thin line between you looking like a genius and you looking like an idiot. It all depends on execution. It's a crazy thought. Old Fart says Buffalo chips all over Broncos. Old Fart, Michael Davey. Davis, I appreciate you, brother. Michael Davey coming in the chat. He's hanging out. Absolutely love everybody in our audience right now. Bring back No Shirt Dan. Well, let me tell you what, my friend. No Shirt Dan is going to happen more than likely during the playoffs, okay? And hopefully we're celebrating with no shirt on as well. I actually have a full-size authentic Buffalo Bills helmet coming in, so just wait for some of the outfits that I'm going to be wearing during my live game reactions, folks. I'll leave it at that. And speaking of a blue helmet, I am giving away that blue helmet right behind me. It just so happens to be signed by Jim Kelly, and I was very hard-pressed in giving that away. But I love you guys so much, and I've been doing giveaways all season long. So I figured that I would save this toward the end of the season. If you want to have an opportunity of winning this helmet, it's actually quite simple. All you need to do is be a subscriber to this YouTube channel. So for those of you that may watch and just haven't hit the subscribe button already, that is rule number 1. And then rule number 2 is quite simply just leave a comment on this stream after it is over with. Live chat does not count. Just go on ahead and just leave your thoughts. Let us know what you're thinking based off of the topic today, and then also mention something about the helmet. And then I will pick a random video. I will pick a random comment, and that winner will be announced during halftime of my live game reaction against the Bills and the Broncos. About time you acknowledged us commenters. About time, bro. Look at that, Craig. Yo, what's up, Craig? How you doing? What's up, Dan? Ray from DC. And I am worried about Sean McDermott. What if we lose to the Broncos? Is it over for him? We need a serious D. I don't know if we can go all the way to the Super Bowl. Well, let me tell you what, Ray. So I think that it's natural for all of us to feel some type of way when it comes into the playoffs. There's always going to be a sense of anxiety, right? Because, listen, we have one bad game. We're done. We're out, and we are going straight to the mock draft boards. And we're going to have to wait until September for redemption, if redemption ultimately ever comes. I think that we need to look at it from a couple of different perspectives. Right now, according to where we are, we currently have a top 5 offense of all time when it comes into EPA. And EPA is expected points on average. We are averaging 3 points per drive, and that is historical. That is top 5. That is top 5 best offense in the history of the NFL based off of that metric alone. And also keep in mind that we have a defense that averages 1.2 or 1.3 turnovers per game, top 3 in turnover differential. Yes, we have our blunders in being able to stop the run. Yes, we have our blunders here and there. However, when it comes into taking away the football, we are amongst the league's best. As far as DVOA, we are top 3 in DVOA. We are top 3 in EPA. We have Josh Allen as number 1 in EPA. He's number 1 in QBR. Those are all the statistics that, in my opinion, really matter, right? I'm not so much concerned about box score numbers from particular players. I'm more concerned about how this team looks from an advanced analytical standpoint. And when you look at this Buffalo Bills team, we are right there. And again, guys, listen, I know that it's a hard pill to swallow, but remember this. This Buffalo Bills team, it is an absolute fact. We are a top 5 offense all time when it comes into EPA. 3 points on average per drive. That is nuts. So I'll tell you what, out of any playoff scenario that I have ever had, and of course this is easy for me to say because it's recency bias. I'm sure that I've already gotten over of the PTSD of what we felt like last playoffs or the playoffs before. But how I'm looking at this overall situation is, man, is that I think we are positioned right now to win the whole thing. And I haven't felt this confident going into the playoffs at all from that point by itself. Really. I'm honestly where I'm at right now. Like, I think this is our best opportunity to truly make the playoffs. We're fully healthy for the first time. Any game that we had a down game, even defensively, in fact, I challenge each and every single one of you to reflect back and look at the injury report and look at players that were not on the field when we ended up losing those games, right? Massive. Several of the games that we ended up losing, we were without Milano, we were without Bernard, we were without Taron Johnson. We are lucky enough to have a fully healthy squad going into the playoffs. Now, a question remains, what's going on with Amari Cooper? From what I understand, he's going through a pretty serious family emergency. And he is certainly staying in my prayers as much as I hope that he is staying in yours. But if Amari Cooper is not a go against the Denver Broncos, that does not change anything as far as my prediction moving forward. But a couple of things here. Number 1, top 5 historic offense of all time when it comes into points per drive. That's an absolute fact. Number 2, have a quarterback that is playing at a very high level right now. He's going to be the MVP. And we have a defense that is top 3 in turnover differential. We take the football away, and we finally have a run game for the first time since the Obama administration right now. So we have a solid offense, dude. Oh, I love this chair. In fact, no one even mentioned anything about my new chair, dude. I got a new chair. And so I was sitting on some shitty plastic kitchen chair for a long time, a shitty plastic dining room table chair for the past year. My ass was always on fire. Now my ass feels like I'm sitting on a damn cloud, and it's beautiful. And I can go on ahead and I can sit back. Damn, bro. Just wait until I'm live game reacting and I'm doing one of these numbers right over here. But is what it is. That right there was my ADD, my ADHD in full effect right then and there, folks. But yeah, so I wouldn't be as nervous as I would have suggested that you should have been in years previous, but that's me. Chris716, what's good, Dan and the Mafia? Hey, man, I'm living the dream. I'm trying to. And do you think they fired McDermott if he has a blunder in the playoffs, Marcus? I do not. I think that everybody in this chat is going to believe that he should be, but I don't think this front office is going to move away from a guy that's won back-to-back AFC championships, that has had a carousel of different coordinators. And trust me, listen, I know a lot of people in this chat are going to be calling for his job, but at the end of the day, it's not up to us, right? If we were Jets fans and say, for example, that we had Woody Johnson's son, Brick, looking at all of like the noise on social media, then yeah, we probably would have been able to get him fired just based off of what the fans were having to say. But just remember, this year was supposed to be Sean McDermott's reset year, at least according to the media. So really, at the end of the day, he can go on ahead and just say, hey, this was supposed to be a damn reset year for me, and look at it, and I brought this team to 13 wins. Top 5 offense of all time, right? Solid in turnover differential. So, no, I do not think he is gone. Even if somehow we lose to the Denver Broncos on Sunday, which is not going to happen, I do not believe that is the case, then I think we still have him. I feel there's way more to consider than just blaming the head coach. I think it comes down to all around effort. There's more coaches on the sidelines and in the booth that all have a say. Absolutely. But unfortunately, shit rolls downhill, right? Shit rolls downhill. You hear the Broncos fans saying that they want Buffalo Bills after beating a Chiefs team that basically forfeited that game. I mean, listen, they haven't been there in quite some time. I feel like this is their first playoff appearance, since 2015. So I get it. I get it from Denver Broncos fans, right? Like, they obviously have their taste of the playoffs. They think that a rookie quarterback is going to go in. They can't run the football. So anybody that is concerned about this Buffalo Bills team stopping the run, have no fear, because Denver has been ineffective. And that's even being polite about it with running the football for the past couple of games. It has been exclusively Bo Nix. So what the Buffalo Bills defense is going to be able to do is literally focus exclusively on their wide receivers, on Sutton, on Troy Franklin, on practically everything, and just play stout secondary. Each and every single game that the Buffalo Bills ever play, they pick their poison and they give the offense something to do. I think that we are going to allow the Denver Broncos to run. I think that we are going to be scheming up ways that are trying to trap the Broncos into thinking that they can run the football, tricking them into thinking that they can establish play action, and we are going to absolutely remind Bo Nix that he is a rookie and he still has a little bit of time left. That's essentially how it plays out. So anybody that's worried about our run defense this week, folks, have no fear, because this is probably the most favorable matchup in the playoffs when it comes into run defense. This team cannot run the football. They cannot. My sister stayed in the Jim Kelly room at the ECMC, where they gave her excellent care. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. Shout out to the Jim Kelly room. I am worried about our defensive tackles and our secondary. We are not getting any push up the middle to pressure the quarterback. I mean, listen, I feel like Ed Oliver has been doing absolutely fantastic for the past couple of games, especially against the Detroit Lions. And plus, do remember that we have been experimenting with quite a bit of different combos when it comes into defensive line. Same thing with Gregory Rousseau. And so I want to say, like, he has like 8.5 sacks already, like one of the two. So I wouldn't so much be concerned about it. And secondary, dude, we have some of the best corners, like some of the most underrated corners in the NFL, I would say. We have Christian Benford. We have Taron Johnson, absolutely dynamic on the outside. I trust Christian Benford in being able to locking up Sutton. I really, really do. I trust Taron Johnson being able to go up against their slot guy. And I also trust Rasul Douglas, who I know had one bad game, but for the most part, folks, Rasul Douglas is an incredible CB2. And I think all of us just haven't forgiven him for that one game against the LA Rams. And it's very difficult to cover Cooper Kupp / Puka Nacua in the first place. So I think that we should cut him a little bit of slack, if you know what I mean. This video is sponsored by water. Drink your water, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Craig is coming in. Let's get her done on Sunday. Craig, absolutely, man. We already know what we're talking about. What's up, Dan? Shout out to the new chair. Who do you think PS2 covers on Sunday? Who goes off as a result? I mean, dude, like, so we're talking about an offense right now, again, and I'm going to continue to flex this just because I think it's super cool. And just because I think it's super cool right now, we have, let me stretch out my neck there for a second. A top 5 offense of all time as far as EPA. And we also were this close to breaking a record of being able to throw a touchdown pass to as many players as humanly possible. We were at 14. I think we were 1 away from 15, which would have broke a record, etc. I think PS2 is likely going to be on Amari Cooper, who's going to be out there, and or Keon Coleman on the side. I think this is going to be a massive game for Khalil Shakir. And I also think this is going to be a massive game for Dalton Kincaid as well, right on the outside. Now, this Denver Broncos defense is pretty good at stopping the run. However, we've seen James Cook go out there and run the damn ball against some of the best defenses that we've seen. Defense needs to win us a game. Wouldn't that be ideal? Craig, let's get her done on Saturday. That's what I'm talking about. Scott's coming in with a super chat. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. If Joe Brady leaves this offseason, and do you think our offense takes a step back significantly? And what do you think? Brandon Beane was higher for the next offensive coordinator. No, not at all, man. I think that an offensive coordinator is largely imperative for younger QBs. We have Josh Allen out there right now. He would be going into what, like year 7, year 8, like next year in 2025. So no, not at all. This is largely going to be his offense next year. It's probably going to be a hand-picked offensive coordinator for the guy. And I think they'll probably end up taking a page out of Joe Brady's book, at least part of the DNA moving forward. So, no, I'm not necessarily concerned about the offense taking a step back. I still think that we would be completely fine. And remember, like, we have a vet, like, right now when it comes into OC. Like, OC is slowly but surely starting to become irrelevant as far as for this team. All you need is quite literally a QB, right? Water is overrated. No, it's not. No, it's not, man. This video is sponsored by water. Damn. And so I drink a gallon a day and I piss like a racehorse, but it's worth it. It's worth it, baby. Buy stocks. Bills 34, Denver 24. Absolutely, man. Lots of new offensive plays for the Buffalo Bills. Maddox is in the chat. Are you excited to lose to the Lord and Savior Patrick Mahomes? So I only have one Lord and Savior, and that is Jesus Christ. I hate when people like say Lord and Savior, Josh Allen, or like Lord and Savior. Like, nah, dude. Like, nah. Like, nah. Like, that ain't it, bro. That ain't it. And as far as Watrick Mahomes, dude, he's getting his fucking cheeks clapped in Arrowhead, AFC Championship game. He's getting his cheeks clapped, ladies and gentlemen, during the AFC Championship game. Remember it. Savor it. It's happening. Throw the house on Shakir's receiving line. I really like the matchup, but just give me until tomorrow or maybe even later this afternoon when I ultimately end up doing my preview segment, which should be pretty damn exciting. I expect Denver to play ball control. That will keep your offense off of the field. Well, the problem is, Bald Paul, is that they can't run the football in the first place. So if they're continuously behind the sticks, and the whole ball control situation is not going to be there for them, this team is not going to be able to get from behind the sticks. They are going to have negative plays. I think this defensive line is going to do what we can. I think that they're going to have a lot of failed rushing attempts that end with a 2 or 3 yard loss, making it 2nd and 13, 3rd and long situations. And we're going to clamp up on defense. It's basically what it is. Like, you can't do ball control and you can't play ball control when you can't run the football, and they can't run the football. So that's how it plays out. Is there a world where Daboll comes back as an offensive coordinator? No. No. No, dude. No, Bill. And so in all seriousness, Mr. Brian Daboll still has a head coaching position over at the New York Giants. And I think what Daboll has proven is that he has been nothing but a Josh Allen merchant, right? I honestly don't think Daboll was that good. And to be completely honest with you, yes, like solid plays here and there, but he sucked at establishing a run game. Just couldn't get it done. Bills crush Dolphins. Bills bully the Steelers divisional, and Josh finally gets his revenge against the Chiefs in the championship round. Wouldn't that be ideal? More scared of the Ravens or the Chiefs? I ain't scared of nobody, Maddox. I ain't scared of nobody, bro. Not a damn soul. I wouldn't even be scared of the would-be undefeated New England Patriots a couple of years ago. I wouldn't care if Brady in his prime came back in New England with all these other dudes, clones of these guys back in their prime, came back and stepped up into Buffalo, New York. We are hanging sack on all those fools, bro. It's this year and this year only. The Buffalo Bills are winning the damn whole thing, all right? Dread it, run from it. Destiny arrives all the same. Dread it, run from it. Destiny arrives all the time. Dread it, run from it. John is coming in. Dan, I wanted to let you know I and others who follow you for 5 years and going wish you the very best in the playoffs with the Buffalo Bills. I will take everything to win the trophy. John Mitchell, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And yes, that is true. I have been on the tube for about 5 years now. Absolutely insane, man. 33,000 of you, very close to 34,000 of you. Rock with me, dude. 34K subs, have 100,000 on TikTok, have 85 on Instagram. Y'all just love talking ball, and I really appreciate each and every single one of you for rocking with me and allowing me to live my dream of talking football for a living. Thank you so much. Dan, if we win the whole thing, you better go to the parade. I will be at the damn parade butt naked. Buffalo Bills 30, Denver Broncos 14. Interesting. Dr. DC. If Joe Brady goes, there is a QB coach to promote. Paul Costa, is there marijuana in that water? My guy, dude. Holy hell. Why do I feel like you struggle with technology, Paul? Like, why do I feel like you're at that age where like you like need to call like your nephew to explain how to send an email? I don't know why, Paul. Paul, and no disrespect to all of the other seniors that watch me in here. I love all of you except for Paul. Paul sucks, all right? If bullying is a thing in the senior citizen community, bully Paul and his bald ass head. Thank you, Paul. Bill, I feel honored for triggering a ref punch, smashing that like. Bill, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Jorge, it'll be the Chargers versus the Bills championship. Book it. Bills winning, of course. Jorge is calling for the Chargers. Harbaugh is about to go on a damn run. Somebody is indeed predicting. I love it. C is coming in. Hey, Dan, I just got here, but do you know what's up with Amari Cooper? I guess it's some serious family emergency from what I understand. So I don't want to assume anything, but it's got to be serious, right? It's got to be serious. So again, I just go on ahead and I encourage everyone to keep him and his family in your prayers. And say, for example, that he can't make it. Like, we totally understand for the playoff game, family is way more important than the job, right? It's way more important than your job. And that is something that I feel like a lot of us don't understand. That so the Buffalo Bills are a company and all of the players are employees. And I think you guys would choose your family over your job any day of the week. So hoping for the best that he can be back. But if not, I'm still confident that we should be able to beat the Denver Broncos without him. So you think it's possible Steelers, for the love of God, beats the Ravens, but I just have no faith in Russell Wilson and that offense. It's not even so much like Russell Wilson and so your faith for it, right? I think it has to go with the defense. And the Steelers defense is going to be at a full bill of health. And Mike Tomlin has lost 4 in a row. I wouldn't count the Steelers out. I really would not count the Steelers out. And imagine how much of a parade we would go on. Like just running through the receipts of Ravens fans on the internet would be insane. Shakir, Dolphins made my day yesterday when they announced McDaniel was returning as head coach. Absolutely. Me too. Let the damn ship burn. Dan, and you think Bills still think about the last time we played Denver? No, because it's essentially like an entire different team. It's basically an entire different team, right? So you had Russell Wilson as QB. Yeah. It's basically a different sort of team. And I think what we're going to do is we're really just going to go ahead and take a look at what they did afterwards. And so do you think we're keeping our 30-point average in the playoffs? I don't think we score 30 against Denver. In fact, I think it's going to be more like 24. I would be absolutely thrilled if I could go on ahead and watch this team put up 30 against the Denver Broncos, but it's not happening. Bills will beat Kansas City by 7 points. Paul Costa, if the Bills by some miracle get to the Super Bowl and lose, is that considered 5 losses in a row, or is it a new losing streak? Question mark over here. It would be 0-5, my friend. We have a frog in the chat from Jetted Out. Aaron Butler, incoming Ravens' 3rd Super Bowl, incoming Lamar's 3rd MVP. So Aaron Butler, I just like have a feeling that you were like shitty at golf. In fact, I just have a feeling that like you were that kid that was so uncoordinated in PE class, but you tried to like try out for some of the varsity sports teams. And you would go every single day to check if your name was on the board, but it was never there. I just have a feeling like you trip over your own feet, right? Like I have a feeling that you were just like one of the most terrible athletes ever graced on the face of the planet at the end of the day. I have a feeling that you also smell like stale beef jerky and cheese. I just have a feeling that you smell like cheese, bro, right? And you don't wash your ass crack. Like, that's, like, basically, like, where I'm at right here. I don't even think you're from Maryland. In fact, I want to say that you're 24 and you live in you live in your grandmother's basement. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. Khalil Shakir. I could see the game being similar to our playoff game against the Colts in 2020. I could certainly see that too. Paul and Maddox need to get a room. We have Jonas. Put on your 2025 GM cap, free agent addition splash, and who is the starting defensive ends. Jonas, I am not going to do that. Just out of going on. I don't want to jinx it. So I'm not talking any free agency until it is all said and done. Who do you think will stop the rushing or passing attack? I mean, listen, dude, this offensive line has done incredible at protecting Josh Allen this year. He is the least sacked quarterback in the NFL for a reason. Of course, it has to do with his ability of being able to avoid this stuff in the first place. But it's going to be a hell of a matchup. It really, really is. But watch our offensive line make moves. Like, Dawkins has been playing at a completely different level. Shout out to McGovern, who's been an absolute stud. It's just not how it plays out. And Aaron Butler has knee pain from blowing Lamar so much. Absolutely. Big Papa Bill. Is Lamar Jackson playoff choker incoming? How about I give a dislike on your show? Do it. Do it. Do it, dude. Do it. Patty Daddy will torture chop secondary in the chip, bro. I'm not sure what you've been fucking watching, Maddox. Aren't you supposed to be in school, dude? And so you don't even have fucking chest hair, dog. And so you don't even have a hair on your fucking nut, dude. I'm looking at you right now. Pay attention. Pay attention right now to English class, little kid. Why are teachers allowing you to watch YouTube right now, all right? That's exactly why you're going to community college, Maddox. I'm just kidding. There's nothing wrong with community college. However, that's why your parents aren't going to be proud of you, because you're watching YouTube where you should be hitting the books right now, little kid. Get out of here. Get out of here. Rodman's coming in. Can we get one last dance out of Von Miller? Wouldn't that be ideal? I would love a Von Miller to make it happen. Been debating him on one of your video comments all morning. Had to stop. I was losing brain cells. I just don't really like to give them a lot of attention. And so to be honest with you, I really don't even read comments anymore, because I value my intellect. And the more that I argue with mouth breathers that know nothing about the game, it's not good for my mental health. So guys, listen, if anybody annoys you in the chat, what I want you to do is just block them. So you can't see them. I only respond to trolls when I want to roast them or when I want them to pay me. The troll toll is up, baby. The troll toll is now officially up, ladies and gentlemen. Trolls, if you want anything, if you want your comment to be read, I've instructed all of my audience to block you so that you can't see a damn thing. You got to pay me. I'm not reading anything that trolls come in and say unless you pay. And I know all you are broke as hell, because obviously you're watching me. You're watching a damn Bills channel where you could be out there making money, but you're not. You're not, bro. You're sitting there jacking off and fucking eating junk food, bro. And watching me stream. That's what I'm talking about. Except for Paul. Paul can't jack off. He hasn't gotten up since the 70s. Dirty Dan is saying, so Dan, you see Allen's MVP odds have increased. Absolutely. We already know that. The troll toll is now up, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to implement the troll toll. We're going to have to take their parents' money, baby. So trolls, go run and get mommy's credit card. All right. If you want to be heard and you want me to address you, then you're going to have to pay, ladies and gentlemen. It's just how it is. Dan, and do we know how many teams want to interview Joe Brady? It's in the multiples. So far, it's the Jets and the Saints in which that I have seen thus far. I haven't seen any other updates outside of that, but we will see. It's funny to watch Ravens fans try to explain why Lamar has no help. It's hysterical. Josh is MVP and Ravens fans too broke to even say otherwise. Absolutely. We already know what that's all about. Who is beating right now? Who's beating right now? Who's beating off right now? I hope nobody. I love to see nobody at the end of the day. Jaguars also, me call. Khalil Shakir. If Joe Brady is a smart man, he declines that Jets interview. I mean, listen, worst case scenario when it comes into it, so let me see. It's just going to be practice for him. He's not going to take that. He's not going to take that, dude. He's not going to take that role. I think that he has connection with New Orleans, so which makes sense. That or the Chicago Bears would probably be my two favorites for him, is where I could potentially see him going. I'm listening to your podcast while I wait for my haircut, Dan. Frank, look at that, man. What's the haircut you're rolling with today, my guy? And so I just got a fresh-ass fade. You know what I'm saying? I just got a fresh-ass fade right now, baby. We're already talking about that. We got Michael. Dan, can we pretend Bob is one of the trolls? I just beat the shit out of Bob when trolls piss me off. Really? So next year, whenever Josh throws for 5,000 and 50 touchdowns, Ravens fans will say Lamar deserves MVP because his tape is better. Absolutely. 1,900 yards, damn, and Ravens fans are trying to glaze Cook for barely cracking 1,000. Absolutely. Yeah. Derrick Henry played no part at all in the success of the Baltimore Ravens, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that. I'm nervous about the large spread. Thoughts? It's going to be close, right? So when was the last time the Bills and the Broncos played, right? It's a couple of years ago. Score. It was 24-22. Let's go ahead and check it out because they still had, I would say, let's check out the player stats. Let's go defense. McMillan, Singleton. You had with Benito, who has completely come up. You still have PS2. Have a bunch of other guys right here. So 1 interception from Justin Simmons, who's no longer on the team. Fabian Morrow had 1, too. And then let's check out Josh Allen's stats, right? He was 15 for 26, 177, 1 touchdown, and then 2 interceptions. But James Cook actually ended up running the football, like, I'd say relatively effectively. He had 12 carries, 109 yards, 9.1. And there's a touchdown to Dalton Kincaid. And there was 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 to Latavius Murray, and then 1 to Josh Allen after the fact. And then a Dalton Kincaid passing touchdown. Gabe Davis had 2 receptions for 56. So maybe that means that we're going to be stretching the field down for Keon Coleman. That could be something. It could be that Dalton Kincaid might have 5 receptions and be targeted quite a bit. Maybe Amari Cooper means this too, but I don't know. It's an entire different team, ladies and gents. It is an entire different team. Now, guys, listen. So definitely need to go ahead and give a shout out to our good friends over here at Picasso's Pizza. Damn, baby. To Picasso's Pizza. Look at that. Best pizza in Buffalo, New York. 4 great locations in the Western New York area. Williamsville, West Seneca, Lancaster, and Blaisdell. If, for example, that you want to get in on the action, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to get in on the action, ladies and gents, highly recommend that you go visit one of these locations. If not, they are delivering nationwide. As long as you use code PARADE, you will get 20% off on your first order. Shout out to Picasso's Pizza for being a proud sponsor of this channel as well. The Bills chick is coming in. Hey, Dan, I have a feeling Amari Cooper will not be back in time for the playoffs. They're being very hush-hush about him having to leave. He's going to be completely fine. I just think that he has a pretty significant family emergency, and I would be fine with that. Maya is saying Lamar is the biggest choke artist I have ever seen. Where you at? He's broke. He's broke right now in his grandma's basement. Picasso's is honestly the best pizza I have ever eaten. Khalil Shakir, it's my guy. Cook also fumbled that game. Jordan Smith, Lamar has Henry, Zay Flowers, and Mark Andrews. Josh doesn't have the same type of talent around him. Lost 4 receivers from last season. Brand new weapons. It's Allen for MVP. All right? When was the last time you had a slice of Buffalo za? Damn, bro. It's been a while. I'm not going to lie to you. I did order a Picasso's Pizza when I first started this brand deal with them. It was great, but it still wasn't the same. Like, I picked it up from the shop, brought it home, and fucking rocked it. I miss Buffalo Pizza. I really, really do. So I'm on the carnivore diet right now. So I only eat like animal products. Like I only eat steak, eggs, chicken, salmon. Like that's it. I just eat like all of that right now. Like I feel like I've been on it, I don't know, for like a month now. But I do have a cheat meal. And my cheat meal, I allow myself to have some sort of carbs. I'm feeling pizza for my next cheat meal. I just wish that I was in Buffalo because I would absolutely destroy that if possible. And do we think McDermott is gone if we lose early in the playoffs? No, I don't, man. I think a lot of Bills Mafia like would line up picket lines, all right, and start protesting outside of the stadium. But no, I don't. I think Sean McDermott is here, whether we like it or not, ladies and gentlemen, at least for 1 year. When you're supposed to regress heavily and you end up leading a top 5 offense of all time, you are the MVP. Chris Haynes, that was DeMar's 12th man penalty to give them another field goal chance. We should have won that ish. Bills chick, I love Shakir, Cook, and of course, heartthrob Dalton Kincaid. We have a crush on Dalton Kincaid in the chat right here, folks. Look at that. I don't know. It was such a thing as a carnivore diet, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. So if you're talking about getting fucking lean as shit, bro, like lean as fuck, do it. Yeah. So my breakfast typically is like 6 eggs and like a sirloin And then for lunch, I typically like throw down a pound of ground beef. And then for dinner, like I'll have a steak or chicken or salmon, but like just like a shit ton of it. Like basically a shit ton of it, right? Um, like for a while. So I thought that like carbs was like what made me full, but nah, dude. So if you eat enough steak, eggs, etc., like you were completely full, like you're super healthy, like your body just fucking it's definitely an adjustment. It's definitely an adjustment from the beginning, but I mean, really outside of that, it's pretty crazy. Another lose to the Chiefs will shatter the Bills franchise. I can't wait. I bet you're going to tell all your buddies at the 7th grade lunch table, my friend, while you don't talk to girls because you have no fucking game, Maddox. You got no game, bro. You don't pull. You don't pull. You got 0 bitches, bro. You got 0, dog. Get excited to take your mother to the prom, bro. Ask Aaron Butler about that. That's exactly what he did. McDermott gets a bad rap, but all our players love him. That should mean something. Let me see. Chris is coming in. Dude, sardines kind of hit. Really, any of the canned or jar fish, cheap and quality protein. I've been kind of typical. I feel like I'm typically scared of sardines, right? Brandon B. Dan will have to shave his head into after I win the bet we had on the MVP race. Well, okay, listen. So I'm going to have to, and of course I will, but like you need to send us a picture of you as well because you need to shave your head because that's the easiest fucking bet I've ever made in my entire life. It's going to be Josh Allen. It's going to be Josh Allen. So I want to see your bald ass head too. Stop hiding behind a damn profile picture. And once Josh Allen wins the MVP, I better see your bald ass head in here. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, baby. So all right. So the snap count points per 100 snap percentage is almost same between Josh and Lamar. Guys, stop and just stop talking to that kid. For real. His dad left with the milk a couple of years ago, and he never came back, all right? He has daddy issues, all right? He's a 26-year-old virgin. Life's been beating him down for quite a bit. Just go on ahead and just let him have it, you know? Life has already beaten up Aaron Butler enough, all right? Life has already beaten this kid up enough. Let's give him a little respect and time to recover. Is Cooper okay? From what I understand, he's had like a pretty significant family emergency. Jeff is saying Josh already won MVP weeks ago. Wake up. It's going to happen. And I am looking forward to seeing this Brandon B's kid's bald ass fucking head. All right. And don't worry about it. Dan. And so you're going to make these middle schoolers report you for bullying. Good. Bring back bullying. Aaron Butler and Maddox are both adopted. That's why they both act like the way that they do. So here's the deal. Right? I've never understood like why people victimize the aggressor. Like regularly, like I get into spats on X or I get into spats on YouTube, but it's always when somebody starts it. And then I'm just way better at talking shit, and then I become the villain. How am I the villain? I taught them a very valuable lesson that next time that they try to go up and just start talking to shit that that they don't know the person, I feel that was a quality lesson for these young people is to realize that there is always a bigger bully out there, right? And I hate when people are like, oh my God, Dan Mitchell's so mean to me, dude. Like, what the hell? Like, what? Dude, come on. You poked the bear and he fucking attacked. And I hate when people come up and say, oh, Dan, like, you need to be the bigger person. Fuck being the bigger person, bro. I was raised that if someone disrespects me, I punch them in the fucking throat. Metaphorically, of course. Verbally. That's what I get. I was taught to listen. I was taught to defend myself. So don't let anyone ever tell you, oh, yeah, like you should bend a knee. Like you should get on your knees and take the disrespect. Come on, bro. Come on, baby. So you're living long enough to see yourself become the villain, Dan. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But I'll tell you what, I do think that it has become more quality content. And so I feel like you guys do enjoy watching me beat the shit out of Bob and have a good time. Greenlight channel, make bullying great again. Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, listen, again. So for everyone that is watching this channel, I just want to remind everybody that I do play a character online. Okay. All of this is all jokes. I don't mean any of this. Like when I'm roasting somebody in the comment section, it is not the case. All right. I am doing this purely out of entertainment. If I ever roast you in this chat, folks, please do not take it seriously. It's just me having a good time. It's how I talk to my buddies. It's how we roast each other. So please never take anything that I say seriously on this channel. I'm just fucking around. I love all of you. Even all the trolls that come in, like y'all have been a large reason why I am where I am right now. And I sincerely appreciate you guys for always showing love. Maya, Dan, what's your favorite soda? I don't drink soda. I drink, I'd say club soda. I'd say club soda. I'm a big sparkling water guy. So I'm a big sparkling water guy. And then sometimes if like a restaurant does not have sparkling water, I will have club soda. But yeah, I do not drink soda. These kids today have no respect for anyone, especially people older than them. Go Bills. Lamar sucks. Absolutely. Chris is saying, Chris Haynes, does Allen MVP actually matter? Scott Tower. Buffalo won an AFC championship by beating the Denver Broncos. Dirty Dan 716. Dan, and so your show helps me a lot. Been watching you and the roundtable since the beginning. Dirty Dan, I appreciate you, man. I'm glad that I'm able to keep you entertained at least twice a day, or for the most part. So yeah, man, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We have Richie coming in. What the hell is soda? It's called pop, baby. Pop. Damn. Damn, bro. Let me see. All right. Anyway. All right, guys. Listen, I'm going to get out of here. And so I appreciate you guys for tuning in to another edition of Dom Mafia Live. I'm going to be live later on BetUS TV's The Huddle. We have quite a few topics that we are going to discuss around the league. And then I'm also going to be live later on my channel. And then also a SmackDown episode between me and a Broncos fan. It's going to be very exciting. Thank you so much for tuning in to yet another edition of Dom Mafia Live. And reminder, I am giving away that signed Jim Kelly helmet. If, for example, you guys are interested in that, just make sure that you subscribe to the channel and leave a comment on this video once it is over. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you later this afternoon. Peace.